How you doing? Today I want to talk to you about clean bulking versus dirty bulking and which one is more effective in terms of getting the best results for your body. So what is the difference between clean bulking and dirty bulking? Alright, so clean bulking is essentially when you're tracking your calories and tracking your macros and you're doing it in a very structured approach when you're actually gaining the muscle. Okay, so every week when you're clean bulking, you want to be adding about 1/4 of a kilo of weight and making sure that you're gaining that amount nice and steady. Dirty bulking is basically when you eat anything and everything in sight and you're not tracking those things down. You're not tracking your calories, you're not tracking your macros, and you're just focusing on adding as much weight to your frame as possible. The good thing about dirty bulking is that you'll be adding a lot of size quite quick, but the bad thing is that you would not be able to find out how much of that is muscle and how much of that is fat. You might believe that you're adding a lot of muscle, but when it comes to cutting down or shredding, you might not be happy with the results. And in my case, I was not happy with my dirty bulk, and I'll explain to you exactly why that is. So let's talk about my experience with bulking. So basically I started my bulk weighing 69 kilos and I was about 8% body fat, and that was about 6 months ago. Right? So 69 kilos to 74 kilos, I was tracking my calories, tracking my macros, and it was adding a steady amount of weight each week, and I was actually able to maintain my abs. So when I hit 74 kilos, I hit a bit of a plateau and I could not gain any more weight. From 74 kilos, I started doing the dirty bulk, right? So I just got this idea, okay, let's give this approach a go, because I've never been actually able to get to 80 kilos, and that was my goal. Like, I really wanted to get to the 80 kilos. Okay, so like a lot of you might have a nice goal to hit a certain amount of weight, and you might feel like, okay, maybe this might be for me. Maybe dirty bulking might help me get there. Okay, so from 74 kilos, I started my dirty bulk and I finished at about 81 kilos. In this process, I was quite happy. I was reaching my goals by the week. I was adding a lot of mass every single week, and I believed that it was all muscle mass because I was not able to see exactly how much fat I was gaining, because the fat was very evenly distributed over my stomach, over all my body parts, so I was not able to actually see how much fat I was gaining. Okay, so 81 kilos, I hit my goal, and I was so happy about that, you know. But anyway, it was time to cut all that fat down. Okay, so when I started my cut, I kid you not, I spent the last 20 weeks on my cut, and it's been a very slow, very frustrating process. And I found out that actually I have not gained as much muscle mass as I thought. Okay, and it's been a very slow and very long process, because I believe at the end of my bulk, and I'll show you some pictures of what I look like at the end of my bulk at 81 kilos. I mean, I'm only 165 centimeters, 5'5", so 81 kilos is quite heavy for my height. But yeah, I'll show you some photos of what I look like. And my body fat, I would have to say, was about 20% or so. I mean, I've never been that fat before, never had that much body fat. I'm usually quite lean. I like to keep things nice and lean, nice and aesthetic. But because I had that goal of getting to 80 kilos, tried the dirty bulk, and it honestly did not work in my favor. And I believe that it would not work in your favor as well. Okay, because once you start cutting down, you'll find that a lot of the muscle mass that you thought you had, you never really gained. It was mostly all fat, and you will basically lose all that anyway. Let's talk about clean bulking and why it is a far better approach to gaining muscle. So when you're clean bulking, you're essentially adding about 1/4 of a kilo. So you want to aim to gain about 1/4 of a kilo of weight on your body per week, and that way you'll make sure that you're gaining mostly muscle as opposed to fat. So with that in mind, you want to be making sure that you're tracking your calories and tracking your macros, and every week making sure that you're gaining that amount of weight. So you're gaining 1/4 of a kilo of weight every week. If you're not gaining that much, then you basically just have to add more calories or change your macros a little bit so that you actually gain that much. Okay, so in my opinion, in my personal preference, definitely clean bulking works a lot better because you're actually able to see how much muscle you are putting on. So when you start a clean bulk, you always want to start off at a relatively low body fat percentage. So let's say you're about 10%. That's actually a pretty good body fat to start a clean bulk at. So start off on a cut, get down to about 10% or even 8% if you can, and then slowly start focusing on building that lean muscle mass, and you actually be able to keep your abs. You'll be able to see your abs still while adding muscle mass, and you'll know exactly how much muscle mass and if you're actually adding it. So that is a far better approach to gaining muscle because you can actually see it happen, rather than when you're actually 16% body fat or higher, your abs have completely disappeared, and you will not be able to judge whether you're gaining muscle, whether you're gaining fat. And you might believe that you're gaining a lot of muscle, but when it comes to cutting down, you'll just be left with a truckload of fat on you, which you'll spend weeks and weeks cutting down. You'll be a very slow, very annoying process. You'll lose a lot of muscle, and obviously that is not effective for your goals. So I really hope that you've learned something from today's video, and I've helped you to make up your mind on which approach to take, whether it is clean bulking or dirty bulking. I hope you understand the pros and cons for both. If you have learned something from this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel, give me a like, share this video with anyone that you think might learn something from this video, and thank you again for watching. Hope you have a good day.